Okay, so let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive into New York City real estate investing. We're going to be looking at some material from Alejandro Santos.
Okay.
He's a realtor there, and he's got some pretty interesting strategies, I think, especially since you're thinking about
Yeah.
maybe getting into real estate investing yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought this would be a good one to take a look at.
For sure.
So to help us kind of break down all this stuff, we've got a real estate expert with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to dig into this.
Yeah, New York real estate, it's a whole other animal.
It really is. Yeah, it's a beast.
So one thing that I noticed right away from Santos's material
Yeah.
was just how much he emphasizes the financial side of things.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about finding a nice building.
Right.
It's about understanding the numbers. Do the numbers make sense?
Absolutely. And, in a market like New York, that's especially important.
Right.
I mean, prices are just so high there. You can't let your emotions get in the way when you're making these kinds of decisions.
Oh, sure.
You've got to be really smart about it.
Yeah, and he was mentioning things like cap rates and cash-on-cash return. And
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but sometimes those terms, they kind of make my head spin a little.
I get it. It can be a lot of jargon.
Yeah, can you maybe just break down what those mean?
Sure. So think of a cap rate as
Okay.
it's like it tells you the percentage return you can expect on your investment
Okay.
based on the net income the property generates.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say you find a property with a 4% cap rate.
Mm-hmm.
That means that for every $100,000 you invest,
Yeah.
you could potentially earn $4,000 per year in net income.
Oh, well,
Cash on cash return is a little different.
okay.
That looks at your annual profit relative to the actual cash you put down initially.
Okay.
So it takes things like your mortgage payments into account.
Okay.
So it's a bit more of a personalized metric.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah,
So finding a good deal, it's not just about a low price tag.
exactly.
It's about all those other metrics
metric.
and how they work together.
It's about making sure the investment is actually profitable for you.
Exactly. And that's where I thought it got really interesting.
Yeah.
Because Santos talks about identifying great deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, in New York,
Right. In this
what
market,
does that even mean?
yeah, great deal can sound a little bit like marketing speak.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like New York,
Exactly. It's like,
where every square foot is so valuable.
it's so competitive. So how do you even
Right.
find something that's a good deal?
Well, that's the real skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
And someone like Santos, I mean, presumably he's looking beyond just what you see on the surface.
Right.
He's thinking about micro locations within neighborhoods.
Oh, okay.
He's analyzing different types of properties that maybe are undervalued.
Mhm.
And he's also thinking about things like future development plans that could affect a property's value down the line.
Right. So it's really understanding those nuances of the market that
Exactly.
exactly someone who's not in it every day wouldn't see.
And that actually connects to another thing that Santos talks about, which is this idea of being a trusted advisor.
Oh, yeah.
Now, at first glance, that might sound like, just another marketing tactic.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but do you think there's real value in having that kind of personal relationship with your realtor in this particular market?
I think so, especially if you're new to the city.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like having a guide
Hmm.
who knows not just the streets, but also how to navigate all the
Huh.
rules and regulations and everything.
The bidding wars, the unspoken rules.
Yeah, they can help you avoid making costly mistakes.
Exactly.
So it's more than just a transaction.
It's about having someone who understands your needs
Exactly.
and is looking out for your best interests.
Right. So Santos also talks about diversification.
Yeah.
And he's saying that real estate is a way to secure your financial future.
Hmm.
It's that classic, don't put all your eggs in one basket advice.
Absolutely. And historically, real estate has been seen as a more tangible asset that can hedge against things like inflation
Okay.
and potentially offer more stable long-term growth compared to, say, the stock market.
Interesting.
Of course, no investment is without risk.
Right. Of course.
And real estate definitely has its own challenges, especially in a market as crazy as New York.
Yeah. So it's not a guaranteed win,
Yeah,
but it's about making it part of a mix
exactly.
to balance out your portfolio.
Creating a more resilient portfolio overall.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I guess having someone like Santos who understands both the financial side and the market could be really helpful in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to recap, I think what we've learned is that financial savvy is super important.
Definitely.
Finding a great deal takes a lot of market knowledge.
And a good eye for opportunity.
Yeah. And having the right partner can make all the difference.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So on that note, think we've covered a lot of ground today.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us. And to our listeners, here's a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
If you were going to take the plunge into New York real estate, what specific area or property type would you start researching first based on what we've discussed today? Something to think about. Thanks for listening.